From his wrestling days and Hollywood charm to business ventures, it's no surprise that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson enjoys his money. In today's video, we'll take a look at how the superstar spends all of his millions. Whether you know him for his wrestling skills, acting, or charity work, there's no doubt that you know exactly who this man is. Dwayne Johnson, you might know better as The Rock, is a name that's been on everyone's lips for a long time. That's because The Rock is one of the biggest Hollywood names, and that doesn't seem like it's going to change anytime soon. The highest paid actor in Hollywood by a mile, The Rock sits on a net worth of $320 million. With his incredible level of fame and fortune, it's only natural for Dwayne Johnson to have some pretty inventive ways of spending his big bucks. So without further ado, drum rolls please, let's check some of them out. Rolex. A Rolex may seem like it shouldn't have made the list, but when it comes to this actor, there's a reason. The thing is, The Rock is a lot of things, but if there's one thing everyone can agree on is he's not lazy. One thing that sets him apart from many celebrities is that he prides himself on being an incredibly hard worker. You see, right from his time at the WWE to his acting career and his brand, he works hard to earn the millions that he's now worth. It wasn't always easy though, I'll tell you that for free. There was a time in his life that he couldn't even afford to buy himself a good watch. So what did he do? He bought himself a fake Rolex and used it as motivation. A motivation to always work hard is to keep pushing so that he would switch his fake Rolex for a real one someday. Sure enough, as soon as he cashed out his first few checks in the WWE, the first thing he did was spend $35,000 on a real Rolex watch, fulfilling his lifelong dream of owning one. Unfortunately, he broke that Rolex watch while he was wrestling. There's a lesson in there somewhere. If you want to become a wrestler, don't wear fancy stuff to the ring. On a separate occasion, he accidentally broke a fellow actor's nose during filming. To apologize, he bought the guy a Rolex. What a class act. Stunt double. Shocked? I mean, who wouldn't be? He's The Rock. Why on earth would he need a stunt double? More importantly, why would he spend his millions on one? Here's the thing, you probably won't be as surprised when you remember that this is Hollywood. While some actors do all their fight and action scenes themselves, that isn't an option for everyone, including guys like The Rock. Sure, he does his stunts in some scenes, but in the more intense scenes like car chases and more, he needs help from stunt doubles, who, well, can get the job done without having to worry about them getting hurt. At the end of the day, The Rock is the face of most movies he stars in. If he somehow gets seriously hurt in one of his stunts, the production in the film may stop while they wait for him to heal. They would be forced to lose money, and The Rock wouldn't want that, so stunt doubles. Let's be clear, The Rock doesn't pay for his stunt double, but that doesn't mean he doesn't help take care of Tenoy Reed, who also happens to be his cousin. The two have worked together on many films, so The Rock decided to reward him for his service by buying him a very expensive custom-made truck. Again, class act. Food. Ever since his wrestling days, The Rock has had to learn to take care of his body. Not just in terms of his muscles, but also when it comes to how he builds his body to perform at his maximum 24/7. A big part of that involves watching what he eats, which is why The Rock spends a lot of money to make sure he has the right vitamins, nutrients, and supplements going through his body. Overall, he eats about 10 pounds of food a day. Just visit The Rock's social media pages like Instagram and see how far he takes his food obsession. He devours stacks of pancakes, chows down on full plates of sushi or whatever looks good like it's nothing. He eats more than 5,000 carbs a day, sometimes even up to 7 meals. The Rock is also very passionate about fish, more specifically, cod. The star eats cod all year round, mainly because of its high omega-3 fatty acids and other various health benefits. Johnson likes it so much that he spends almost $2,000 a year on cod. Yup. Now that's some pricey fish. Can you imagine spending that much on fish? Of course, you wouldn't. For this star though, that's chump change. Not to worry though, they don't stay on him for long. He works them out in the nick of time and still looks like a boss. Before we move on, leave a like on this video, smash that subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be the first watching new episodes. Real estate. Here's one thing that not many people know. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is quite the real estate mogul. In 2017 alone, He bought and sold up to 10 homes in Florida. Apart from that, The Rock has countless properties across the United States, one of which hit the markets in 2018 for nearly $15 million. Before making his name in Hollywood, Dwayne Johnson not only went to college, he went to the legendary Miami University, where he played college football, so it's no surprise that the 48-year-old has a private mansion within Miami. The mega mansion that cost him a whopping $5.5 million is glamorous both inside and out, with a lot of cool features and lots of space to live. Of course, because he often shoots in other places like California, he doesn't get to live here often, which is why he shelved out a separate $4.9 million in 2012 to buy another home in California. Johnson also has a home in South Florida, Los Angeles, and a few vacation properties that he visits when he has the time. It's safe to say that Johnson will always feel at home wherever he may be. Farm. For many celebrities, having a big home is one of the bigger parts of their lifestyle. What's a better way to spend your money than having a massive house in a big city, soaking in all of that urban energy? The Rock knows this, which is why he dropped all of that money on real estate. But being the down-to-earth guy he is, he also knows that sometimes you need to get away from it all, unwind, and get lost in nature. Which is why he bought a farm on a huge property where he can relax and unwind. Located in Virginia, his farm has animals to take care of and snap pictures with for social media. Of course, the actor has always talked about his love for fishing, so it's no surprise that the farm comes complete with a fishing pond for when the actor wants a more relaxing hobby. According to him, the farm is a nice change for his family. Whenever it gets a little stressful, all he has to do is take them up there to do more natural outings instead of staying cooped up in the city. Cars. Ah, yes. The Rock does not only indulge in yummy meals, fishing trips, and expensive fish, he also dishes out cash on some nice cars. Johnson has several custom cars, but nothing beats his bad boy, the Pagani Huayra. The Pagani Huayra starts at nearly $1 million, and considering that The Rock owns a custom one, no surprise that it cost him over $1.4 million. But even at that high price, it's just one of his babies. When he's not cruising his Pagani Huayra, he owns a custom-made Ford pickup truck. Being in a long partnership with Ford has been great for The Rock. Through Ford, he's been able to own and give a lot of these supercars away. While the Ford F-150 doesn't necessarily break the bank, with the number that he owns and has given to several friends and family members, it's safe to say that he spent quite a lot on them. For his high-end rides, he prefers his $300,000 Bentley, along with several other drool-worthy sports cars. To top it all, he has an expensive Ferrari collection that would have you grinning from cheek to cheek. Private jet. Please tell me you didn't think there was a way The Rock wouldn't have his private jet. The man is not only one of the world's highest-paid actors, he's also a beloved WWE athlete. He's earned his wings, so it's hardly shocking that he has a private jet. What's more impressive is that The Rock's jet is one of the fastest jets in the world. A luxury jet through and through. It cost him $65 million to get his hands on one of these. Apart from flying across the world in his private jet, The Rock also flies his own helicopter. Talk about the best of both worlds. Believe it or not, the actor is also a trained helicopter pilot. So not only can he fly himself where he'd like, he can also do so in his very own helicopter whenever he wants. Charities. While many celebrities let their success get to their heads, The Rock is not one of them. Sure, he does act a little crazy at times, but that's usually to put on a show, more or less. The truth, according to his closest friends, is that he's really a down-to-earth guy. When he's just by himself, he's humbled by the gifts he's been given and the opportunities he's had. So instead of using all his money on himself, he donates a ton to charity all over the world. He also decided to start his foundation called the Dwayne Johnson Rock Foundation to help children, especially the ones with disabilities across the world. Dwayne himself put in millions into his foundation to keep it running. Since its founding, the charity has worked with a lot of children to help them get better or learn to live with what they have. So now that you know what The Rock spends his money on, leave the comment down below and let us know what's the most extravagant or the most surprising and craziest thing The Rock spends his money on. Don't forget to subscribe for new and upcoming episodes.